Hey everybody, this is Brian at OBEDIA, and this is how to make use of Sidechain Compression in Pro Tools. It's a real useful effect for stopping the fighting between your kick drum and your bass guitar, or for getting a filtered sound, which is really sought after in a lot of electronic music. I'm on a PC, but these commands are going to be the same on a Mac, so you should be fine for following along with me at home. I've got a Pro Tools session open here, and I've got some bass and some drums. Pretty basic, right? And what I want to do is I want to cause my drums to make a compressor become active in the mix, which will give me a filtered sound and also lessen some of the fighting between these two in the mix. So I'm going to open up my mixer, and I'm going to do that on the PC by holding Control and hitting equals. On the Mac, that's going to be the Apple key and hitting the equals sign on your keyboard. So now I've got my mixer opened up. First thing I need to do is create an auxiliary input to put my sidechain compressor onto. So I'm going to click Track, go to New. Now the New Track dialog is open. I'm going to make a new stereo track, and I'm going to make it an auxiliary input. Hit Create, and this has created my auxiliary input. It's always good to name your tracks, so double-click on that track and call this Sidechain. All right, we've got a sidechain auxiliary input all set now. Let's go back into our mixer. Now, first thing that we need to do in our mixer is we need to send the output of our bass and our drums to a new bus. So I'm going to click on the output here for my bass track. I'm going to go down to bus, and I'm going to select bus 1, 2. I'm going to do the same for drums. All right, so now I'm sending the bass and the drums out on bus 1, 2. Now I'm going to set the input on my auxiliary input to be bus 1, 2. So now bus 1, 2 is going out of these tracks, and it's going into this auxiliary input. Okay, so now I'm going to instantiate a compressor on this auxiliary input. Click your inserts, go to multi-channel plugin, go to dynamics, and select compressor limiter. I'm just using the Pro Tools built-in compressor and limiter. Okay, so now I am sending the bass and the drums all into this compressor, and I'll hear that effect. All right, so that's okay, and if all I wanted to do was just compress everything down, I would be all set. But again, we want to cause the drums to make this compressor active, not everything in the mix to make this compressor active. So let's close up our compressor for a second, and let's take a look at our drums. We're going to look specifically at the sends section. So right here, I'm going to click on sends. And I'm going to scroll down to bus, and I'm going to select a bus that's not currently in use, because if I were to select my bus 1, 2, that would not work right. We want to send the output from the drums on a separate bus into our compressor. So when we select bus 3, 4 or any other unused bus, we're going to get the channel strip fader here for bus 3, 4. Now we need to turn bus 3, 4 up, because if we don't turn this send up, we're not going to be sending any volume out and to our destination. So make sure to turn that up a little bit. All right, so we're almost done. The next thing that we need to do is, again, open up our compressor. We'll open up the interface for the compressor. And now, if we take a look at the top of the compressor, you see we have this option that says no key input. Well, this is the key input section, and this is where we tell the compressor where it's going to take its sidechain input from. So if we click on key input right here and go to bus, we're going to see all the buses. We're going to see the active buses, but we also have this bus 3 and 4, and you'll remember that we set our drums to send out on bus 3, 4. We can select just the bus 3 right here. It's fine to be making use of this in mono. We're going to select bus 3, and this means that we're sending the drums on bus 3, 4 into the compressor on bus 3. So now we've set the key input. Now all we need to do to enable sidechain is click on the little key icon right here under sidechain. Again, this is going to cause the compressor to take its input from the drums and this will make the compressor become active only when the sound of the drums is there. So what I'm going to do now is play this back and show you how we can hear this effect. So you can hear right there immediately when I bypass and then unbypass this compressor, you can hear how immediate that sound is of the drums causing the compressor to become active. Now, I can also listen to the sidechain and just the sidechain by clicking on the little speaker icon right here. This will let me hear just the input that's going into the compressor. So you can hear there that by enabling that little speaker, I can hear the side chain of the drums coming into the compressor. That lets me tune things a little bit or just check the input that I have going into the compressor. So that is the quick and easy way to make use of sidechain compression in Pro Tools using only in-the-box plugins. Again, I'm not using a third-party plugin or anything else. I'm using the great sidechain function on this compressor limiter, and I am able to modulate my sound very easily by using these sends. So again, this is really useful in a lot of different production types. All depends on what it is that you are working on, but you'll find that by doing this, you'll be able to quickly and easily make use of sidechain compression in Pro Tools. I've also included my Pro Tools session for you guys as a download. You can find that in the description for this video. You can download this session, open it up, and take an even closer look at what I've done in this session, hopefully give you an easier understanding of what we've done here. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments for me, please email me, brian@obedia.com, or get me on Twitter at twitter.com/OBEDIA-tutor. Check out our Facebook at facebook.com/OBEDIA-tutor. And thanks for watching. Until next time, happy music making to you, and take care.